my name is Kyle Ball. I'm applying to Northern Arizona University's Doctoral Physical Therapy program.
Alright, Kyle, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, so I grew up in Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is about 45 minutes east of Philadelphia. I have a mother and a father. My father owns his own IT company. I have an older half-brother who studies at Villanova, a younger brother who studies at Pittsburgh, and then a younger sister who's a junior in high school. We live with my grandmother and 3 cats. We also have some fish. Outside of family life, I really like to hike, camp, I'm very outdoorsy, and my favorite color is dark green, like a forest green.
Nice, Kyle. So can you give us some strengths that you have as a PT school candidate?
Sure. One strength that really stands out that I think a lot of people who have worked with me would attest to is my good time management skills. As an undergraduate student at the University of Delaware, being an athletic training major, we had to balance clinical obligations with academics, which alone was a lot. On top of that, I also served as a resident assistant during my junior and senior years, which also took about 15 to 20 hours a week commitment. And then my senior year, I got really involved in research as a research assistant in one of the physical therapy labs, and I'm actually doing a senior thesis. All those things together really require time management, and without it, I wouldn't be able to be as successful as I was. So.
Nice, Kyle. So can you give me another strength?
Sure. Physical therapy specific, one of my biggest strengths in the clinic would be planning and executing diverse rehab plans. So a lot of times when you have patients or athletes come in for their 5th or 6th visit, they get very bored of the things they're doing, they lose interest, they might stop doing exercises correctly. So my ability to really engage them more by throwing different things at them on certain different days, stimulating their interest over a long period of time, not only does it make it funner for me, but it also makes it funner for them and ultimately gets them back to full health in a quicker time frame.
Sounds good, Kyle. So can you give me a weakness that you have as a PT school candidate?
Yeah, one of my biggest weaknesses I think is public speaking, and I know it doesn't come up a ton as a PT student and in the clinic. I really thrive in small group discussion and one-on-one talks, but when I have to get up in front of a crowd or a group of people, I really do struggle to find my voice and my confidence. I've tried working on it throughout the past, and this past year especially been working on it in taking a role as a research assistant and doing a senior thesis, which is going to force me to kind of overcome that. And additionally, just in classes and lecture, we've had a number of class presentations where I've had to get up in front of the class and give a good speech, and I think it's an important skill to have going forward, and it's something that I'm continually trying to work on.
Nice, Kyle. So next, can you give me an example of how you overcame a difficult situation in your college career?
Sure. So I wrote about this a little bit in my PT-CAS essay, but the biggest challenge to date has been being a first-generation student at the University of Delaware. My older half-brother and my father both attended college, but they didn't make it very far, and that sort of put expectation on my shoulder and subliminal pressure during my freshman year, and that really resulted in me not doing very well socially, academically, or mentally, and it was a pretty dark time in my life, but sophomore year was much better getting into the athletic training major. I made some friends, did better in classes, and then by the time junior year hit around, I really grew into my own, and that's kind of maybe the person I am today, overcoming that challenge. And I know NAU is going to build on that challenge being a continuation of my undergraduate study, but I'm certainly up for it, and I look forward to it.
Really cool, Kyle.
Thanks.
So next, why do you want to be a PT?
It's sort of cliche, but I think at its basis, the reason I want to be a physical therapist is simply helping people. I've always known that I wanted to be involved in healthcare profession to some extent, and just seeing family members or close friends go through physical therapy and hearing them talk about how rewarding the whole experience was really got me involved in the profession, and I really just want to try to help people get back to their personal best in any way possible.
Great, Kyle. So next, can you tell me what your career plans are and how you plan on getting there?
Sure, so at the end of the day, I really think I see myself as a principal investigator in a research lab. I've only been doing research at UD for less than 2 years now, but I really think it's the career for me for a number of reasons. Specifically, although I love the daily art of physical therapy and helping individual patients succeed on their own goals, I really won't be satisfied with myself in life until I'm able to make a substantive change on a greater scale. So how do I get to this? Basically just getting my DPT and then really honing in on a PhD program, whether it be at your school or somewhere else, that has the resources and tools to help me achieve my goals.
Great, Kyle. So next we have a hypothetical situation for you. During a clinical affiliation as a PT student, you suspect but cannot prove that the clinic is illegally billing for services not provided. What do you do?
Well, I think my first step in this situation would be to really familiarize myself with the clinic I'm working at, their billing procedures, and just in general how billing operates. As an undergrad and really to date, I don't have much experience with insurance and billing. I hope to learn more as I get my physical therapy degree. But in this situation, I think I would really try to research out some of the facts, familiarize myself as much as possible first, then go back to either my clinical coordinator or program director, really tell them what I think is going on, get their take on it, and then if they also agreed that something suspicious was going on, probably intervene on the clinic.
Okay, Kyle, so next, why do you want to go to PT school here?
That's a good question, and to be totally honest with you, I didn't know much about Northern Arizona University before I started applying to schools. But once I actually started looking in at PT schools, it quickly became clear that this was the school for me. I think the focus on clinical immersion, in addition to research exposure every year for your DPT students, is something that really appeals to me, given my experience as a research assistant and an athletic training undergrad. Outside of the program itself, I've been to Phoenix before, I've been to the greater Flagstaff area. I absolutely love the area, and I think that I would really excel at your school.
Sounds good, Kyle. So for the last question, I just need to know, what is the best Gatorade flavor?
Well, it depends if you're mixing flavors or not. If you're going straight up Gatorade, like a single flavor, it's Cool Blue, which is your traditional blue Gatorade. But if you can find it in the long cylindrical bottles with the squirty caps, it really makes a difference. You think I'm crazy, but it really makes a difference. Now, if you're mixing flavors, if you mix the light blue with the purple, you get this blurple combination. We used to make it for all the baseball players when they won CAAs at UD. I seriously, it was the best flavor, and I stand by that to this day.